Okay, here's a video on how to solve problems about work and about power. A person pushes first, we write down the formula. I tell you to do this every time, all right? A person pushes a box with a force of 50 newtons, so the F is 50 over a distance of 10 meters, so the distance is 10. How much work is done? So W is what we're solving for. W equals 500. That's 50 times 10. 500 joules. All right, let's try this next problem. First, it's a work problem. Work equals force times distance. You're always given the formula. A machine does 1,000 joules of work. So 1,000 is our work. In lifting a 100 kilogram object a certain distance. 100 kilograms is a mass. They had to lift it. So this problem is like our lab. We have to find the weight of the book. The weight is the force with which you have to lift it. Weight is equal to mass times gravity. Weight is equal to 100 kilograms. That's our mass. And the gravity on Earth is 9.8. So the force needed to lift it is 980 newtons. So that problem was a little bit harder. You had to figure out what the force was to go right there. This is just like your lab, though. What force did the machine exert? (980 newtons. I think what this is supposed to say is how far was it lifted. Now we can figure out what distance it was lifted. 1,000 divided by 980 will give us how far they picked it up. All right. 1, 2, 3 divided by 980 equals 1.02 meters. So that was a little confusing, but a little glitch in the machinery there. All right, power. Power is how much work you do in a certain amount of time. Power is how much work you can do per a certain amount of time. Power equals work over time. The person in problem 1 pushed a box of 10 meters in 5 seconds. All right, our time is 5 seconds. We need to find how much work they did, right? Work is equal to force times distance. So in number 1, they did 500 joules of work, all right? So they did 500 joules of work. 500 joules of work in 5 seconds. The power is 100 watts, capital W, okay? Power equals work divided by time. If the machine in problem 2 lifted a 100 kilogram object a distance of 2 meters. Okay, now this one's a little bit harder. I'm sorry it's like that. They lift the machine, okay? Well, they lift the object. The object's 100 kilograms, but to lift it, you have to exert a force that's equal to its weight, which is 100. Weight is mass times gravity. 100 times 9.8. So remember, the force needed is 980 newtons. That's how much the object weighs. So they applied 980 newtons of force to lift it 2 meters. So now we've got to do another problem. Work, which is this guy right here, is equal to force, 980, times distance, which is 2. So 980 times 2 is 1960 joules, 1,960 joules. So the work was 1,960 joules, and that was done in 10 seconds. So 196 watts is 1960 divided by 10.